Well, my name is Franz. This is Gavin, Farrell. We're from a company called Panogs, and we are a interactive, emerging agency that does 360 video and VR and all sorts of wonderful, cool, interactive experiences.
Also, it's our goal tonight not to get the duck.
Yeah, we're going to talk really fast. If there's any questions afterwards, let us know.
Oh, so I got a quick question. How many people saw my talk a month ago?
Yeah.
Like half the room. Okay, cool. We'll go through this class quicker then. So yeah, we had the opportunity to do the cover of Time magazine a couple of years ago, top of the World Trade Center. We also had the fortunate experience of creating apps and 360 immersive VR experiences for Android and iPhones for the Union Tower and all sorts of big towers and skyscrapers around the world. And
we've done interactive images from the top of the World Trade Center in New York, the Reunion Tower in Dallas, One Liberty Place in Philadelphia, and that little building, the Space Needle. And then our most recent project we actually just finished up was a really cool story that we did in conjunction with Time, Life VR, and Sports Illustrated. And it was a story about 3 individual climbers that basically went from the summit, or from ground level, obviously, to the summit of Everest. And they were a legacy climber who was the son of the first American team to summit. We had a lady who had just beat breast cancer, and then we had a guy who was a below-the-knee amputee, Jeff Glassbrenner right there, who lost his leg at 8 years old in a farming accident. Hell of a way to lose it.
so you guys are probably wondering, when do we get to the time machine part? I would say, like I said last conference, I'd say we'd probably use a Tesla these days. But we kind of arrived at this time machine concept while we've been doing VR, which is sort of like, well, it's like a new form of documentation, this VR thing, and how far can we take it? So the idea occurred to me, we did a talk with, do you guys know Kent Bai from Voices of VR? We did a talk with him last week, and the idea of memory, of how you effectively recall things when you have VR experiences. And I want everyone in this room to think about, what is VR going to be like in 20, 30, 40 years from now? You guys are all going to be a lot older in this room, and you're going to put on a headset. And this is my family. We just did a little trip to Sparks Lake on the Cascades Highway in Bend. And it occurred to me, my little daughter, she's 2 years old. She's going to put on her VR headset and all these VR films I'm creating of her and actually experience what it was like to be 2 years old. These are memories that she might not even ever have. So it's like an augmented time travel almost. You're traveling to a point before your memories even started. And I thought that was really interesting. So, next slide.
So one of the other projects and things that we've done is this interactive gigapixel image for the Space Needle, and you can see that it was called Zoomable City. The thing that was really neat about it is it allows people to zoom in, zoom out throughout the entire city, point out things like Pike Place Market, little things that are just for Seattleites, and then other things, famous landmarks where people can go and see Quincy Jones at Seattle University, or and learn about the history of him and Jimi Hendrix. The thing that we found really, really interesting about this was that when we did this image back in 2014, the skyline today is incredibly different than it was back then. When we shot that image in 2014, there were 42 cranes that were in the middle of construction. There's now 64 cranes. And the whole entire campus of Amazon has been built.
Yep.
So this image is essentially what we consider essentially like time travel, right? You're able to go back in time and see things. And it was this project that kind of gave us this epiphany, and which was for our most current endeavor, which is what we'd like to introduce everybody to tonight, which is called Tower.
So what we've done is we've installed a cylindrical camera system. This was about 2 months ago on top of the Coin Tower. And what it does is it captures an image every 10 minutes. It's a high-resolution panoramic system. And it's sort of like a live cam on steroids, right? But there's a lot more applications to this than you would think.
The great thing is that once it takes an image, it catalogs all of these images up in the cloud. So we get all this amazing content from sunrise to sunset and everywhere in between.
Yeah, that was a double rainbow about 2 months ago. So if anyone has any questions about this image, what I realized is we can take this data and turn it to VR content. So we can have historical data. We can watch Portland grow over the next 50 years in the virtual reality headsets. And you guys, everybody that owns businesses in this room can probably imagine what that means and connect the dots.
We have questions, anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would suspect the current resolution of what you're capturing and what you're capable of displaying in the headset is going to be considered like the black and white television compared to HD television. So how often do you think you're going to have to upgrade that camera to get to where you really want to be with resolution?
That's a great question. I think that this is certainly first gen for us. Our ultimate goal would be, as camera systems improve, to just replace it. And just so you guys can kind of see, this is actually a live version right now of what we're looking at. So you can see we've got all sorts of cool little things that we're able to do with this.
Yeah, we're all right here right now.
So I know New Relic's got a great view.
Stick our heads out the windows.
New Relic does have a great view, but ours is better, no offense. But we've got all these little rotating logos that we can put down in the bottom corners as well. We've got hotspots that we can throw in to direct people to other content.
Yeah, click on the hotspot on the Fremont Bridge if you would. I promise somebody in the room might show her this. So you were talking about hyper-resolution images. So if you could zoom into into Big Pink. A little bit more. A little bit more. And even more if you want. Yeah. So we can upgrade the cameras as needed. It's more about data management.
That's not live. Right?
No, that's not live, but we can.
That's the trade-off.
Yeah, well, we can do it. We can definitely do it. With enough money, we can do it. I mean, there's no hurdle, really. Yeah.
You can. There's a temporary site that's up right now. You can actually go to panogs.com, and then up in our projects we have a tower page set up. Our ultimate goal is to put this camera and leave it up for 20 to 30 years. We're going to meet with the Coin News 6 Center to Wednesday. They're interested in utilizing the content as well. So we just think there's a ton of opportunity for using it. Yeah.
Speaking of utilizing the content, are users or visitors able to visit full panorama, credit you if they use it in a production or something like that?
They could certainly do that. They'd have to contact us at this point. Right now we're building a whole back end for it. It would allow people to just manually go do it and then purchase it, license the content.
Yeah, there's a couple applications. Question back there?
What kind of cameras are you using, and what are you doing if you're using multiple cameras to stitch?
Well, the camera is a scanner, so it takes if it's really bright outside, it takes 5 minutes to do a complete scan, and if it's really dark out, it's 10-minute scan. But we have other camera systems that we actually want to sort of put on top that are going to be more virtual and high resolution. But
Yeah, I was going to say, you layer camera systems?
yeah, we can layer. The nice thing about VR cameras is there's that magic blind spot, so you can stack them. And but the idea is the one we have in Seattle. There's a lot of filmmakers that are actually using it to study light. A lot of applications that we didn't think about, and that's actually why we're here. Is like we want to meet with businesses and companies and hear what their ideas for our content are, because we've got our own ideas, right? We just shot the big float with this, and you know, there's the Blues Festival. Those are the obvious ones, like. You know, you're at an event and you want to see your whole audience. As a company, you want to have sponsors against that. But I think there's a lot of other applications that we haven't even thought about that are really exciting.
Yeah.
You showed the video, like the home video. What's the consumer level of this right now? Like, what can I do for my family off a shelf off Amazon? What can I do a year from now? What does it look like?
I mean, Mike has his ideas and I have mine. Right now, you can go on your phone and bring it up in front of your family and zoom in and you know, watch the panoramic content go back and forth
But in terms of production, in terms of capturing it, like I want to go on a vacation and like.
Oh, sure. You mean like sell these cameras and install them everywhere?
Like,
that's a business model we haven't thought about, but.
How specialized is it? How long until it's like $1,000 DSLR that I can buy and set up when I go camping? And
yeah, I mean, you can do that now with.
Yeah, actually, there's a little Samsung Gear camera that you can buy for about $200. That'll shoot 360 video that you can use and take and document your whole life.
The Gear 360, $230 on Amazon. It does live streaming as well. I think with us, you know, we come from a 360 background and we watch the industry evolve. And I think that we all know it's going towards AR and augmented reality, mixed reality, and we all know it's going to kind of come to this huge, you know, culmination of technologies. So like our company, we try to bring in all these different technologies together and try to create new hybrids. This particular camera system, what we're excited about is getting them up at really high vantages and kind of having that, like, not to say Sauron from Lord of the Rings, but kind of like that big tower, that's what we call a tower. It's like that God's eye point of view of the city, just always, and there's scary applications to that thought as well, but we're trying to, like, there's so much beauty that happens in Portland. We've only had this camera up for a couple of months, we already got that double rainbow. I mean, the city is so gorgeous, like, we should all, you know, it's nice to be able to.
One thing that I think is really kind of cool is if you look at this building right here, this is where the old Farrell Laundry used to be, and that's where the courthouse is going. So we'll be able to document the entire build of that and the whole construction, which is just going to be kind of cool to watch and see how it changes.
So this is now a huge amount of data.
Yes.
And so how do you pick out the double rainbows? I mean, you almost need some algorithms that are going to look at this phenomenon, looking for.
Maybe. I mean, this is kind of my heroine right now. So I spend a lot of time just flipping through the day. And for the most part, you get a pretty good idea. We have the ability to just create a quick little time lapse on things and go through images as they load. And so, again, I can just go like this throughout the day, pick something and go, oh, hey, that's a really cool shot. Right now, we've got beautiful blue skies, so really nothing too exciting that pops up. Yeah, that was all today. You can see, you can watch the time changes from 5 a.m.
I mean, we had those riots, well, there was protests / riots. You know, that stuff is captured. You know, I mean, if you don't know what's going to happen in the city, right? So if you're got a camera captured all the time. Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see some of the statistics from how Oregon's out cities change over time.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Layering data on your.
Yeah, absolutely. That's part of what we're kind of thinking about as well, is just that whole to document and watch just growth through everything. It's kind of cool. Yeah.
What are your data storage requirements for this thing?
Right now, the camera company provides a back end for this that's about 100 gigs. We're in the process of kind of trying to just FTP all of that over our own location and have our own back end built, and then build our own viewer and everything else.
Yeah, we're in the infancy, and like we're looking at CDNs, Amazon, S3, of course, but we don't know. I mean, if we get hit hard, if this becomes a really popular product quickly, we could be screwed. So we have to really think about that. Absolutely, but it does accumulate data quickly.
Last question. I heard you mention that the separate company provides you camera equipment, right? So,
Yep.
So the thing that you're marketing here is the actual content, right? It's this 360 sort of.
Well,
you know, sort of
yes and no. The camera was originally made for ski resorts,
okay.
and so what's great about that is that it's weatherproof, it's freeze-proof, it's lightning-proof. It isn't really, sort of. Yeah, although I got hit by the one that we have on top of the space to get fried from a bolt of lightning. So to answer your question is yes and no, because they didn't think of applications of putting it in the middle of the city. And they also didn't think about, right now it's just, they thought, oh, it's just a glorified web viewer. But we're thinking about it in an entirely different way. We're thinking about, well, yeah, but it's just like Google Street View. It's like, you know, maybe that's just, you know, real estate through the streets. But when you add all these layers of data and you integrate those things together and you put it in virtual reality headsets, it can become its own beast. So we're helping them kind of take their camera but then also producing content and then trying to generate something completely new.
So
from
what you're
there.
selling is experience. Then. It's not one piece of it. It's the whole package, right?
Yeah, we're trying to create a whole ecosystem out of it. And I think we failed to mention that our goal is to have these cameras start with all the major cities in the United States and then take it from there. I guess was that the last question? Or one more?
One more.
Okay, one more.
So as this camera becomes more readily available to people like myself, what do you have that is your intellectual property to sell and continue on to sell as a scalable company?
I would say right now, the only thing we have is a written agreement with the company that manufactures it of what, with our business plan, what our plan is to do with it. Like Gavin said, our goal is in the next 18 months to hit 50 different cities.
Yeah.
And from there, once you have that real estate, you've already got the content there. We'll start to develop our own camera systems as well, using all sorts of different pieced together things that are available, right? Digital SLRs, things like that. Again, this is just kind of our first version to get the content going, to get the ecosystem built, and then we'll go off of a camera system like this and then switch to something that is not necessarily proprietary. We may develop a proprietary system, but move into something that's more spherical and potentially SLR based.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.